Like, if I only knew what God had for me, I would have. You don't like nobody. You ain't a fan of nobody. You don't root for nobody. Pack your things and keep it pushing. You don't know me. I am not who you thought I was. So everybody shouldn't be able to access who you are currently. And that's something that I feel like I got in the bag, okay? This ain't no tea, no shade. Everybody got to live their life and do what's best for them. I have never been a stupid girl. I thought it was so fitting, especially for me in my life. Hi babes, welcome in or welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about grown woman commandments. Now this is something that I just thought of on the fly one day because I know that my grown woman or womanhood videos do really well on YouTube. You guys love the conversation, you love the discussion, and I think those videos have been a great way from us all to kind of learn from each other, take away things and pour into each other at the same time. So I've come up with the 10 grown woman commandments that I think any girl who is entering womanhood should know these things. These are like essential, and I think that it would be super helpful to kind of just spread it out to everybody. You know, these are things that I talk about with my sisters or my good girlfriends, and things that we just share amongst each other as women, life lessons that we've learned and things that we've observed over the years, and I think it would be helpful to share them with you all. So as always, I love when you guys comment and contribute to the discussion, so definitely leave your comment down below, add to the list, tell me what you think, and let's just get right into the video. Oh, another thing I want to say as well is that I don't know if you guys like Cash Doll, but my best friend loves her some Cash Doll, and I know Cash Doll came out with a song called like the Cash Commandments or something like that, so I kind of also got the inspiration from there as a little spin-off, you know what I'm saying? Her commandments, I agree with a lot of them, but these are mine, and I thought I'd share them, so let's just get right into it. So the first one that I have is actually a commandment that I got from my father, but it applies nonetheless. And that is that a fool learns from his mistakes and a wise man learns from others. Or a fool learns from her mistakes, a wise woman learns from others. See, I like that better. So with that being said, that is something that my dad used to tell me and my siblings all the time. And it literally means what it says. As an individual, you want to learn from other people's mistakes. You want to observe those around you and be able to grasp what to do and what not to do. I don't necessarily truly believe that you are a fool to have to learn from your own mistakes, because some things in life we just have to see for ourselves, right? Like, we just gotta jump off the porch and fall and scrape our knees to know that that's a no-no. Don't do that again, right? Like, we could tell you a million times, I could tell you a million times, your mama, your family, everybody can tell you not to do something, but there are just certain things that as a human you have to learn on your own. So don't take this as an absolute for every single thing, but in certain situations and in certain instances, you should be able to see what another person has went through and kind of learn that lesson through them. You shouldn't have to go through the same exact thing to see what the result will be. You know, be a student of life. I like to say that I am a student of people. I study people. And that doesn't necessarily mean like I'm just sitting back studying you, watching everything you do, but I pay attention to the things that people go through and the decisions they make and how you did X, Y, and Z and it got you to ABC. You know, I observe and I absorb that information and try to learn from that and try to use it as a rule book for my own life in some ways. There are obviously things that I had to learn the hard way, but a lot of things I haven't had to learn the hard way, and that's just because I was observant to what other people went through and how that got them to where they are or lack thereof. Okay, the second one is from my dad as well, but I think it's a very important one. It's something that I find to be more and more relevant as I get older, and it's that the decisions you make today can cost you a lifetime. Now, he used to be drilling that into our heads when we were freaking teenagers, but as I'm getting older, I'm starting to really think about the future. I'm starting to think about the next 30 years of my life and what I want that to look like. God willing, I can make it there. I pray that I can. And if I do, how do I want my later years to look? How do I want my 60s, 70s, 80s to look? And so now I'm trying to be more conscientious of the decisions that I make and think about how they're going to impact me in my later life, and trying to just kind of make sure that I'm making moves that are not just fulfilling me in the moment, but also that they're going to fulfill me in the long run. I am past the days of making super impulsive decisions and just knee-jerk buying something or just getting up and going somewhere just because I feel like it. I try to take my time and plan things a little bit more, think things through, not be so impulsive, not be so emotional, and kind of just do things in a way that makes sense for now and that are also going to make sense for the future. Now this next one is one that I will not lie, I first heard from my good sister Aaliyah's face, but I thought it was so fitting, especially for me in my life. And that thing is, you can do stupid things, but don't be a stupid girl. Me, I've done a lot of stupid things, girl. Listen, things that I would never come on here and tell y'all, okay? I've done my fair share of stupid things, but I have never been a stupid girl. Never. Anytime that I was in a jam, I got out that jam. And so I think that that is super important as a woman, a young woman. Make mistakes. Learn from your mistakes. Do silly things. Have silly situations and circumstances, but don't allow those things to become you. Don't allow those things to hinder you from the life that you're actually meant to live and that you could have. Have that moment. Have that mistake. Bump your head, but get back up and don't let that moment define you. Don't let that situation define you. Don't let that situation change the trajectory of your life. You know, have that stupid mistake, but bounce back from it. Better and finer than ever, you know. This next one is another one that I got from my sister Aaliyah's face, but I definitely have applied it. And that is to treat your relationships, your romantic relationships, like you treat your panties. Now, I don't know about you. When I was in my earlier 20s, I didn't mind my panties showing a little bit. I might wear something see-through and you could see my underwear. That was just my vibe. Now, 30-year-old Shamika, I can't think of a situation where I would want my underwear to show. Like, maybe if I'm like on vacation and it's just giving that type of vibe, but more often than not, baby, I don't want my underwear to show. And so I treat my relationship as such. I'm not saying you can never post your man, but I know some people, I know some girls, and this ain't no tea, no shade. Everybody got to live their life and do what's best for them. But they post every man. They post every guy. They post every argument, every disagreement. And even if you're not posting it directly, you're posting subliminals to let people know that it's something going on. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's childish, it's immature, and it just takes away from the sacredcy and privacy of the relationship. You know, I find that not everybody's opinion is needed in your relationship. Not everybody's advice, because you get a lot of bad advice. You get more bad advice these days than you get good advice. So hold your relationship sacred. If you need opinions, if you need outside input, get it from someone who you are inspired by with their situation in that relationship, or someone you look up to. And if you don't have anybody like that, get it from a therapist or something like that. But the internet, social media, everybody in your life does not need to know the ins and outs of your relationships. Also, I don't know if you guys watch RHOA, but the newest cast member, Angela, she was on there talking about how her husband and her family got along really well at one point. And then over time, because she was involving them so much in their relationship, the mother, her mom, started to dislike her husband. And that's a situation that I never want to experience. I never want to go through stuff like that. So I am very conscious of how much I share, what I share, because the saying goes like, I can forgive him. You know, we in the bed together. I can forgive him, but your family may not. They may look at him differently and move differently with him. Your friends as well. So just be conscious of what you're sharing, how much you're sharing, and keep some things to yourself. Keep some things for just you two. Next up on the list, girl, is to make sure that you age like fine wine, okay? Now, that's something that I feel like I got in the bag, okay? I make sure that I keep myself looking good. I refuse to be that girl who fell off. I refuse to be that girl who was so beautiful back then, but we don't know what happened to her now. Baby, no. I'm going to always look good. I feel like as a woman, your looks is your currency. And no, I am educated. I have my own money and all of those beautiful things, but I also want to look good too, to attract all the other opportunities that can come my way just by looking good. So age like fine wine, sister, especially if you Black. It's easy for you to age like fine wine. Take care of yourself. Upkeep your maintenance. Invest in your looks. Invest in your hair, your nails, your makeup. All the things. As a woman, keep yourself looking good. You never want to be that girl who used to look good and used to be fine. Like, baby, I'm still fine. I can still compete with the best of them. I can still stand next to the best of them and hold my own. I'm never going to be out here looking toe up from the floor up because, like I said, your appearance is your currency. And I want the most I can get out of the body that God gave me, okay? So take care of yourself, sister. Age like fine wine. Now, the next one on the list is one of my favorites, and that is that access to your energy is a privilege. When you've worked on yourself, when you've put that time in, that energy in, that therapy in, everybody shouldn't be able to access who you are currently. Maybe back then when you were a mess and not your best self and still trying to figure everything out. But once you've put that work in, you got to be strict and you got to run a tight ship when it comes to who gets access to you. A problem that I've had is that a lot of people in the past want access to who I am now. And it's because, you know, just to toot my own horn for a second, like, I'm that girl. Like, I haven't fallen off. I look good. I live good. I feel good. I smell good. I'm good. And the personality is A1 too. I'm humble as ever. So I'm a vibe. And I find that a lot of people from my past be wanting to kick it with who I am now. No. Access denied. You do not get access to this person. You do not get access to all the work and things that I've put in, especially if I look at you and I don't see that you've done the same. I see the stuff you post on social media and I can grasp that you're that same person. I am not the same person that I was when I was kicking it with you. I am not the same person I was a year ago. And so if I can look at you and I can tell that you're that same person, why do you think you can get access to this new person? You don't know me. I am not who you thought I was or who I used to be. I am a new person, and access to this person is a privilege because I've done too much work on myself to ever allow anyone to come into my life and have me revert back to who I was or revert back to doing the things that I used to do. And I'm also not in the business of grabbing nobody and pulling them up. I'm still trying to keep myself up. I can't be trying to pull you up. No, it's not going to work. And I only want those around me who align with who I am now and where I am going. That doesn't really apply to family as much because family is family. You know what I'm saying? They've been here from when I was in diapers until the day when I'm not here. Family gonna always be here. But you can also be conscious and mindful of the relationship that you have with certain family members and be mindful of how far you're willing to extend those relationships. But in general, girl, you get the gist, you get the vibe. Access to who you are after doing all that work on yourself should be a privilege. It should not just be handed out all loosey-goosey. This one right here, sister, this next one right here, never let a man tell you he don't want you more than once, okay? If a man tell you he don't want you, he don't want to be with you, he not feeling you, whatever, anything along those lines, pack your things and keep it pushing. When a man can tell you that he don't want to be with you in whatever variation that he said, and you still stick around, you have agreed to subject yourself to whatever it is he's about to put you through because he told you he didn't want you. I find that men, I don't know, they are much more open and, you know, vocal about if they want you, if they like you, if they into you. They love, if a man loves a woman, he's going to show you that he's into a woman, and more specifically, he's into you. So if the man fixes his lips to say that he don't want you, oh baby, you better take he don't want you, girl, because they normally want you. So if he says that to you, pack your things and keep it pushing because nothing good is going to come from that. I don't really see how you can recover from that. And that's me just being 100% transparent. Any man that ever told me he didn't want me, he didn't want me. Okay? And it ain't been a lot that said it, but if one has said it, baby, he didn't want me. He said it and then his actions followed up with that. So take heed to that, collect your things, and keep it pushing. Now this next one is a personal one for me. They're all personal to me, but this next one, I don't know, it's just something that I do, and you really don't have to live by this, but I find that I do, and it helps my life in so many ways. And that is to just never worship or idolize anyone. Like, the only person I worship and idolize is God himself. nobody else can get that high of an honor from me. I will say that I am fans of people, but not to the extent of most people. Like, a lot of people in my life have told me, like, you don't like nobody, you ain't a fan of nobody, you don't root for nobody. And it's not that. It's just that I cannot allow myself to be super wrapped into or super consumed or infatuated with someone or something that I don't know personally, right? Like, I don't know Beyonce. I love Beyonce. I love her craft. I love her dedication. I love her work. I love a lot of things about her, but I don't know her. So I can't worship her. I can't idolize her. I can't be down for everything she doing, everything she's saying, every move she make. I don't like every outfit. I don't like every hair. I don't know her. You know, my allegiance isn't to anyone but myself and God. Everybody else is a flawed human being in some way or another, and I recognize that. So I'm never too consumed with anybody for the most part. I'm inspired by many people in many different ways. I take little things from everybody, but like a diehard ride or die for people that I don't know, I just don't do it. I just find that I don't want to say that it's a waste of time, but it's just kind of like, it don't make sense to me. You know, it just don't. I don't know. This is just, like I said, this is a personal one, so you may not agree with it, but I just don't care enough to be so invested or like obsessed with somebody who I don't know. I could take all of that energy and all of that and pour it into myself. Why am I riding and dying for somebody who don't know I exist in the world? Like, I can give that energy to the people who I do know and to the people who I do feel inspired by and who I can reach out and touch and access and pour into and love on. Like, I would rather do that. You know, Beyonce, and I don't mean to just keep using Beyonce. It could be anybody. They're not going to come to my funeral. They're not going to come to my wedding. They're not going to be there and babysit my kids. Like, I'd rather put my energy into the people who I actually have a connection with, a relationship with, and true access to. Next up on the list is one of my favorite ones as well, and it's that nothing is happening to you, everything is happening for you. Now, I know that when times get hard, when things get rocky and shaky and difficult in your life, it's hard to see that, right? It's hard to believe that. But on a deep level, I really truly believe that for myself. I truly believe that nothing is happening to me. Everything is working for my greater good. Even if it's a situation that I'm personally not happy with, I'm hurt behind it, I'm embarrassed behind it, I'm sad about it, there's a reason that it's happening, right? And I'm not just being singled out in the world. There's a lesson somewhere in this madness, and it's happening for my greater good, whether I can see that greater good now or not. That's what it is. And I try to kind of always have that mindset because it helps me move on from situations, right? And I think it's so important to know how to move on from situations and not hold on to things and people who are not aligned with you anymore, who it's time for that chapter to close, you know? So I try to always kind of look at things like that just so I can have that peace of mind and that comfort in knowing that, like, it will be okay. Like, tomorrow will come and it will be okay. And then my final commandment is one that I learned at least maybe 10 years ago. I've implemented this, and I try to tell this to every woman that is in my life, anybody that is in my life, when they're down in the dumps and going through a hard time and, you know, it's just real ugly for them. I try to tell them this because this is what I tell myself, and it's that God will never put you in a worse off position. Now that is hard to believe as well when things are ugly, but I try to have faith, you know, and my life is a testimony that is 100% true. I've been through some things and I've seen some dark days, but I've never been put in a position that was truly worse off. Even if in the moment it felt like I was in a worse off position because I was hurting in that moment, or I was sad in that moment, or I was disappointed or mad or frustrated, the reality is, it wasn't worse off. It was for my better interest. It was for, you know, the greater good, and just believing in that, and believing that it kind of goes to the last point, that nothing is happening to you, it's happening for you. And although you may not see the benefit of it now, there is a benefit, and it will be revealed if you just keep trucking, keep moving along, and keep it pushing. You'll see the blessing in that lesson. You'll see the blessing in the reason why you were so sad, you know. And then you're gonna look back and be like, oh my God, I did all that worrying for nothing. Like, oh my God, I was crying and kicking and scratching and fighting and biting and trying not to let that thing go or close that chapter when God had this for me all along. Like, if I only knew what God had for me, I would have easily walked away, you know. But that's why you just got to trust the process. And then the more you practice it, the more you do that with situations and with people in your life, the easier it becomes, like I said, to just let go, because you don't know what's behind that door, but you know that every time you close that door and you open the next one, it was something bigger and better that you could have ever imagined. And so just trust in that and believe in that. And then also it is a part of, like, you have to do the work as well, right? So if you are doing the work and you know you're doing the work, with you doing the work and with your faith in God and his love for you and his plans for your life, baby, just marry them together and you're going to be a-okay, sister. So those are the commandments that I live by. I hope you all enjoy them. Let me know which one was your favorite. Let me know if you've heard of these or some of these, if you live by some of these. Let me know in the comments, girl. You know I love to have a good kiki with y'all down in the comment section. So I love y'all, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.